Shark Week. There's no hiding from it. Starts Sunday, July 20th on Discovery.
Sounds good. Nigeria Chambers from Big Go Belt Media. Kendall, thank you so much for your time today. And it is everyone's favorite time of the year once again because Shark Week returns to Discovery, kicking off July 20th. How are you doing today?
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Actually, let's turn the focus back on you for one quick second here. Beyond the Reef, I want to just give you just a moment here to just talk about this, and because it is making a real world impact, and just because how you have to balance, large scale conservation with storytelling. Can you talk to me about the whole start of this and everything with it right now?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to talk about it. I love getting to talk about the nonprofit anytime I can. So, Beyond the Reef mostly does work in the British Virgin Islands right now. We do cetacean research, which is dolphins and whales. We do shark research. We do coral treatment, artificial reef building, ghost fishing gear removal, basically anything ocean conservation because there was sort of a lack there. But with the whale research, for example, we found that the British Virgin Islands are a major migratory highway of humpback whales, and just no one knew it before because of the fact that it was in an area that tourists and fishermen weren't really going. So it's a great example of how much is unknown in the ocean. And, now that we realize that, we can do things like go to the government there and say, hey, we need to push shipping a little further out to make sure that the whales continue to have safe passage here. Or with our shark research, we can say, hey, lemon sharks actually are like a salmon and that they go back to where they were born in order to have their pups, which is like so crazy to me that
Yeah.
they can travel just like hundreds of miles to go back. But we can say these mangroves are super, super important to lemon sharks, not only here, it feeds out to the entire Caribbean. So let's not put a development on these mangroves because you might be screwing over an entire ocean of lemon sharks, basically. So, and then as far as the ghost fishing gear goes, that's sort of any fishing gear that's been lost or discarded in the ocean and is now just continuing to be like a death trap, basically, which is why
Mm,
it's called a ghost. It has no owner anymore. It's just free floating and catching
yeah.
dolphins and whales and fish and turtles and sharks. So we have a team of mostly female divers who we tow behind the boat. We call it shark lining. They hate when we call it that. And they look just with their mask and snorkel for any sort of nets or pots or big, other big gear. And then just it's a bunch of chicks with knives going in, cutting it out. Sometimes we have to bring in a barge and crane if we aren't strong enough because nets underwater
Yeah.
very heavy. Like once it's bogged down with water, it can be
Yeah.
hard to get out. It's fine when you're in the water because you're
Yeah.
sort of, you don't have as much gravity there, but the second it's out, it's quite a workout. So yeah, anyway, thanks for the opportunity to talk about it.
Absolutely. I wish I can give you just so much more time. It's completely fascinating. And thank you for your contributions there. I obviously, with the episode Black Mako of the Abyss, was a really big emphasis besides trying to find this monstrosity, I guess we can call it here. It is really about trying to collect genetic samples. Can you emphasize why this is such an important aspect of the research, and what by having this data, what changes can be made, what other advancements can be surrounded behind this, supported behind this, excuse me.
Yeah, so, genetic samples are obviously the one of the harder things to get, but the best confirmation of what something actually is if you can do its sort of DNA sequencing to figure out is it a hybrid between a short fin and long fin? Is it just a short fin with a mutation? Or is it actually a long fin mako shark that is in a geographic range that it previously wasn't because of whatever factor it is, pollution happening,
Mm,
water's warming, lack of prey. There's so many different factors involved in why species and sharks in particular exist where they are, and also mutate in certain ways. So if a mako is going into darker, deeper waters, it would make sense for it to become darker so that it can blend into its environment even better.
Mm.
So yeah, that was sort of the goal, was to understand, is this a mutation? Is this just a different
What do
geographical
you believe
link?
right now? What do you think right now?
Okay, I go back and forth on thinking that it's a mutation and thinking it's possibly just a longfin that's in an area that longfins aren't normally in. But the problem with both Shark Week and typical science is you have a short amount of time to try to figure this out. And so at the moment, it still is somewhat of a mystery to us, even though if you watch the episode, I think you'll see that we get a little bit closer to at
Yeah.
least documenting it, which is, I'm like in disbelief that we actually were able to document one of these, because Keith, who we went out with, has been, I mean, I think the guy's on the water. He stays out overnight and has so for like 30 years. He basically lives out on this water, and he had seen it twice previously. So I first was like, how do you expect that in a Shark Week timeline of a few weeks we're going to be able to find this? It ends up being, I guess, a couple months overall when you bring everything in, but still, it was incredible. And I got to be in the water with it. I think I got like me to computer screen where you are, between the Mako. So I think I technically got the best showing out of everyone, which is
Yeah.
which is always kind of fun. Kind
Yeah.
of an
Yeah.
ongoing joke with whoever your Shark Week co-hosts are, like whoever gets the best dive. So in the past, it hasn't always been me. So I was like, this is my time. This shark and I we're gonna get close.
I love that for you. Well, I got to direct folks now to go to get to watching it. It's a fantastic episode. But things kick off for Shark Week on Discovery, kicking off July 20th. I guess we do it again in a year later now. We get an update on this, before just being that close. Maybe you actually be heading one of those. So we'll see what
Maybe we'll
happens.
be
But
be hugging by the next time. But yeah, it's my third time doing Makos off of this coast for Shark Week. So hopefully next year we put together another piece of the puzzle.
amazing. Thank you, Kendall, so much for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.